Hello, people. This is Destined Divinity Tarot, and right now we're gonna explore one of your toxic traits to find out where it stems from. And this came to me while I was rewatching the last intro I made, and I noticed myself doing one of my own toxic traits, which is that sometimes I just say way too much. And I do this because one of my major triggers is being ignored or feeling unheard. And I knew that I needed to heal from this the day that somebody called me extra. And I was like, the fuck? Like, who you calling extra? How am I extra? You know, being extra like I do. So I'm gonna try my best today to tell you something that you don't want to hear, but that you need to hear. And I kind of expect, I expect you to be offended. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not planning on being nice about this. We're going over your toxic trait so that you know where to start healing. And I'm assuming that if you clicked on this video and you're intrigued by looking into a toxic trait of yours, then my guess is that you would like to heal from it. You know, nobody really wants to be toxic, do we? I mean, I hope not. I guess some people do. Anyways, let's just move on now. So, group 1 is the Moonstone. And group 2, this is Tiger's Eye. And group 3, Celestite. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no. Yes, it is. It's Celestite. This is a teeny tiny piece of Celestite. And then this last one, group 4, is Garnet. It's kind of hard to like see, but it's actually like right here. Maybe, there you go. You can kind of see that it's red, not really black. Anyways, go ahead and pick the group that's drawing you in the most. Click the timestamp in the description, and I'll see you there. Hello, group 1. You chose the Moonstone here. It kind of sparkles. It's really pretty. I like the Moonstone. And that came with this pile. The first card here is the Hermit, number 9. So you could be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or maybe just you have those placements in your chart somewhere. That doesn't have to be for everybody, but could be an extra sign that you're in the right place, if you are. Okay, and then the next card here is the Two of Swords. Keyword peace. So we're looking at your toxic trait. And your toxic trait is that you push people away as if you believe it's the only way to feel relaxed is by yourself. You might offend people often because you don't think about how your words or your decisions affect them. You kind of stomp on people because you're just so used to looking out for number one. To sum it up, you're selfish. That's how you're toxic. You can be really selfish. And I don't really think you mean to be. I think it's just kind of natural for you. Well, let's see. So this card here is why. Why are you selfish? What does your selfishness stem from? And we got strength. Okay, that makes sense. I already knew that it was strength, but I kind of forgot. But I was sensing like while looking at the Hermit and the Two of Swords, I was thinking already that pretty much you have to be selfish because that is your strength. Like you learned very early on that at the end of the day, the only person that you have is you. And I feel like a big trigger for you is that people disappoint you. Feeling disappointed right now. I think that you don't really want to be alone all the time. But when you do get around people, like, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook or somewhere in social media posts that said something about like me when I'm at home and the person like is really just wanting to go out, they're bored, and then me when I go out, I just want to go home. That's kind of what I think you're like, with this Two of Swords, it's like two sides to you, and this kind of the Hermit and strength being next to each other also shows that there's two sides to you, like a intellectual, pragmatic, hermit type, and a passionate and prideful sort of manipulative side to you as well. And I'm not trying to say that you don't like care about people. I think it's clear that I think you give a fuck about people's feelings. Like, I don't think you're evil or anything. I just think that nobody ever looked out for you, so you learned how to look out for yourself, and so on a day-to-day basis, you just naturally have number one at the forefront of your mind. And I don't know if you know this or not, but not everybody is like that. A lot of people think way too much about, others and how they affect them. But I think that it's almost like you're smarter than that. Like, you're smarter than than to think about, or not think, but you're smarter than to care about what other people think. And not that it's stupid to care what other people think. I just mean, like, in your eyes, you know better than to care what other people think about you. And so it makes it really easy for you to be selfish. Like, you know how to take care of yourself and love yourself, which I I think it just comes off to other people as you not caring about them. If it's hard for you to show, your feelings, then I think the thing that you don't know is kind of a part of the reason why you might be seen as selfish. Like, when you hold back all the time about how you feel about people, when you don't when you isolate yourself and you don't tell other people around you that care about you what you're going through, it can make people really close to you start to feel like they don't really matter to you. And I know that you're not trying to make them feel that way, but it does make them feel that way. Makes them feel like you don't need them. Like, oh, okay, well, fuck you too then. That's kind of what I just heard. And the reason why I'm saying that I think emotion is difficult for you and it's the reason that you are selfish is because I've got earth, fire, air here. We're missing water, which is the suit, I guess you could say, that represents, your emotional side, your sensitive side, your intuitive side. So I don't think to you the way that you act is selfish. I think to you it's very normal. And you actually don't understand a lot of the times why people are offended or like, you, I really think that you consistently are like confused, like baffled even at how sensitive other people can be. So I just want to grab some advice for you. This is the Handle Tarot. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but there you go. So, what kind of advice do you have for pile one, who is sometimes a little selfish without meaning to be? Okay. Well, I don't I guess that's one of them. Let's check it out. The Daughter of Stones in the West. White Buffalo Woman. Well, that's interesting. Let me just get one more real quick. And hopefully I can shuffle it like a normal person. Let's see. See if this works out for me. Ah, yeah, so far it's a little better. Cool. Yay. I did it. What kind of advice do you have for group one? The unknowingly selfish group. What kind of advice do you have for group one? Okay. Oh my gosh. You know, that's, I can't even handle the tarot sometimes. You guys, look, before I got into this video, before I even picked this stone, like to go with it, like I thought of this card as advice for you. I can't make that shit. I cannot make this shit up, okay? I fucking can't make this shit up. But I knew that this was a message right here that you were gonna need to hear. And when this came out and I said that's interesting, it's interesting because this is like, I don't remember a lot about the legend. I read about the White Buffalo Woman. It's pretty interesting if you want to Google it. But what I do remember is that, like, this beautiful woman, or no, like, so a group of men see this beautiful white buffalo, and I think that they were gonna kill it or something. I don't know. I don't want to tell you a lie, so let me just say the parts I remember. I remember they see a white buffalo. It turns into a beautiful woman, and she comes to them, and she teaches them some kind of lesson, and she says that she'll be back when they truly need her. So I think that your message here is to start being there for other people, because when you're there for others, they'll start being there for you, you know? And I think it's trying to tell you to be a little bit more down to earth, like literally be a little bit more You know, like how the way that Native Americans are so spiritual and how they give thanks for any creature that gives their life in order to help sustain theirs. You know, like, I think that's a message for you to start having some gratitude for the people around you and the things that they do for you. And, you know, start accepting their love, you know? Whoever it is, I feel like there is literally somebody who's been trying to be there for you that you've been pushing away. And maybe you did, or maybe you did not know that you were being selfish, but you were. And this person literally just wants to be there for you when you need them. So that may or may not resonate with you. I'd love to know if it does. Anyways, so to the card that I was really excited about. Isis is the Egyptian goddess of motherhood, fertility, a lot of things. She's got a long list, but what I know for certain is that she is the most important Egyptian goddess. And the thing that's beautiful about Isis is I just want to tell you her story the way that I remember it. The sky goddess gave birth to 4 children. Isis and Osiris were 2 of her children. And the throne of Egypt was passed down to Osiris. And Isis became his wife. And then one of the other sons, Seth, overthrew Osiris, and when that happened, Isis, I mean, she was a powerful woman already. And the thing is, she had beyond enough power to simply just take that throne for herself and to just be the fucking ruler of Egypt. Like, she could have done that with her fucking eyes closed, but she knew that she needed to save Osiris because she believed in the beautiful future that he would build. And what she didn't know is that when she found him again, that they were gonna create a baby. And long story short, that baby was actually gonna be the one to create this beautiful future she was believing in. But I just want to get through to you the fact that she made, I don't want to say sacrifices, but she put in work to put somebody else on top. You know, she's about as selfless as it really gets. So I really hope that helps you somehow. And if this doesn't sound like you remember, there are 3 other readings. So give those a shot if this isn't making much sense. But if it does, I would really love to know about it. I really would. So don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe for more pick a card readings in the future, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group 2. So you chose the Tiger's Eye, and we are looking at your toxic trait. So first card in this pile as representation for your toxic trait is Mother of Swords in the South, which is Nut, the Egyptian goddess of the sky. And then the Hierophant, so with the Queen of Swords representing air signs, so you could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. That doesn't have to be true for everybody. Maybe you just have those placements in your chart somewhere. And then we've also got some Earth over here, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The Hierophant represents Taurus. And if you were at all drawn to the Moonstone Group 1, I would definitely say maybe take a look at that one as well, because it started out with Earth energy, and it also represented swords in there as well. So what is your toxic trait? Your toxic trait is that you're too hard on both yourself and others. I think that you're super independent and supportive, but that you lack in empathy sometimes. I feel like you really struggle with forgiveness. Like, you do not believe in forgive and forget. You hold grudges. I'm sensing the word to sum it up is hypocritical. And I say that because of the whole fact that you're too hard on yourself and others, and then mixing that with the lack of forgiveness that you have is like, how do I want to put this? I think that you can forgive yourself, but I think that you've pushed people away for exhibiting some of the same behaviors that you would. I think that sometimes you might, like, have trouble putting yourself in other people's shoes and understanding how they got to the decision that they made. And that is just, I feel like it's because I feel like it's because you know yourself and you know that you won't make the same mistake again, but you can't trust that from other people. In your experience, you know, when people show you your true colors, you should believe them. I think that's something that you think about a lot, which might be what leads you to be so hypocritical in other people's eyes. You know, like why can't you forgive me when you've made the same mistake in your past? So let's see. The card for where this hypocritical characteristic stems from is Osiris, Son of Swords in the South. So Osiris is Newt's son, and he is given the throne of Egypt, but he winds up being overthrown by one of the other children she has. So maybe you lost the ability to forgive others because something was taken from you. You know, somebody like royally screwed you over at some point. And I mean like royally screwed you over. And so now you just are so quick to push people away. And like I said earlier, if you were drawn to pile one, definitely take a look at that, because pushing people away was really big for that pile as well. And Osiris, his his counterpart, so to speak, is part of the advice for group 1. So let's see about your advice. We are using the Handel Tarot today, by the way. So what advice do we got for group 2? The unintentionally hypocritical group. What kind of advice do you have for them? All right, what advice do we have for group 2? Six of Stones. And Judgment. Well, it's not called Judgment in this deck. It's called Eon or Aeon. I'm not certain how to pronounce it, but. So the Six of Stones here, keyword success. And then Eon. So what advice do we have for you being hypocritical I feel like judgment is showing up with success to literally say, like, stop looking at the bad in people. Like, you really can't continue living your life pushing people away and not forgiving them. And you can't continue to judge people off of like your bias from the past. Like, you need to give people a chance to show you that they're different. Like, literally, I'm just hearing, don't look for the bad in people. I think that's something that you do. Osiris is god of the underworld, so obviously there comes a lot of darkness and resentment with a job like that. But if you continue to punish other people for things that happened to you in your past, then I mean you're gonna probably spend a lot of time lonely, and nobody wants that. I mean, I don't care what you tell me. I've had so many people in my life tell me that they want to be alone. Like they enjoy this. This is what they want. It's how they like it. But I really don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody wants to spend their entire life coming home to an empty home. That's not a home. That's just the place that you sleep. It's the people that you surround yourself with that feel like home. And forgiveness is one of the most divine expressions of love. So remember, if that doesn't sound like you, there are 3 other piles to choose from. But if that made sense to you, I would love to know about it. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hey, group 3. So you chose the Celestite. And we're looking at your toxic trait. And the first card here is the 10 of Cups. And then we have the 2 of Cups. So as a toxic trait, I'd say this is a pretty confusing message. But I can see I can see how this could be toxic. Your toxic trait is that you don't take responsibility for your actions. I think that you let other people's behavior affect your emotions. You don't like being alone. And in relationships, you put a lot of pressure on your significant other to make you happy, forgetting that the way you feel is your responsibility and not theirs. To sum it up, you're codependent. And I'm not trying to say that you're... by codependent, I don't mean that you're like incapable of taking care of yourself. That's not what I mean by any means. I think that you actually rely, or not rely, but I think that taking care of others is a need of yours. You know, the way that you get in trouble is by putting others ahead of yourself. The codependent thing, it is like, I really mean that you put others ahead of yourself a lot. You know, you don't feel comfortable when you're alone. It's like whenever you're not doing something for somebody else, you don't know what to do. You know, so it's as if you struggle with your own identity because you get lost in the identity of the people you surround yourself with. You know, this is the group that simply cares too much for their own good. So let's see why. So the card that you guys have to represent why you're so codependent, where it stems from, is the Lovers. So when you see all these cards together, it's like, what could possibly be wrong with this? Is there really anything toxic about happiness and communication and love? Well, the answer is yes. There is something toxic, and it's about you and about how you kind of can't reach this happiness through others like you try to. So where does this stem from? It could be that you're a Gemini. And for Geminis, communication and spending time with other people is important. They're really not the homebody type that wants to just like be alone all the time. At least not most of them. Obviously, you know, everybody is different. I know plenty of Geminis that would love to just stay at home in their pajamas all night, but like most of the time when you think of a Gemini, you think of the person in the group that is you know, talking. I do get very strong senses of Gemini here because not I did not plan this. I swear on my life I didn't plan this. And I didn't even make the connection till now, but this little teeny tiny stone here, Celestite, represents Gemini. And the Lovers represents Gemini. You see it right here. And I just want to clarify, even if you're not a Gemini, that doesn't mean that you don't belong here. I'm kind of just trying to point out the fact that you are naturally very, you're magnetic. People are drawn to you. People, you know, you make people feel good. You make people feel happy. And And I think somewhere along the way, you started to, you expected that of yourself and didn't want to disappoint anybody. You didn't want anybody to see you as anything other than, loving and caring. And so you started seeing your worth through the eyes of others. If I'm not helping, if I'm not caring, if I'm not doing my part, then you don't feel right. You don't feel right when you're alone and doing nothing for anybody. That's super strong. Like that's super strong. That's what I truly mean by codependent. It's not that you don't know how to take care of yourself. It's that you don't know how to not take care of others. So let's see about some advice for you. We're using the Handel Tarot today. What advice do we have for group 3? The codependent lovers of the reading. What advice do we have for group number 3? I do want to also mention the fact that with the cups here, the 10 of cups and 2 of cups, that would correlate with the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, which also would make sense, the caring too much about things, the codependency, sensitivity. Yeah, total water vibes. So, but like I said, it doesn't matter what sign you are. if you're here and this is resonating, then you're meant to be here. All right. What advice do we have for group 3? The unknowingly codependent group. What advice do we have? Okay. Oh shoot, I did not know that I grabbed 4. That was not my intention, but like I've already looked at them all and they kind of are all very fitting, so I'm gonna take them all. Okay, so first up, we have the Empress. And then the 3 of Swords. And then the Ace of Cups. Okay. And the Queen of Cups. So again, with this Cups energy, I am not going to be surprised if a lot of water signs choose this reading. I feel like you're the type of person who kind of puts love ahead of everything else. And I think that you I think that the message here for you is healing. You need to heal. You need to overcome mourning, whatever broke your heart. It is still inherently affecting you. And just because it says mourning, it doesn't have to mean that somebody important to you passed on. You know, there's a lot of things that a person can mourn. You know, you could be mourning a person that you used to be before something happened. You could mourn a past relationship. You could mourn for things that you want but can't have. Whatever broke your heart, Spirit is telling you that you need to start working on healing. Because the reason that you are just like nose deep in caring for others, the reason that you just totally ignore your own needs and focus on what you can do for other people is so that you don't have to look within and do the work that you need to do to heal your divine feminine side that can both love very hard and stay in control of her emotions and be independent and stand in her power. Spirit right now is trying to tell you that they know you're strong. They know that you already are very emotionally intelligent. But they also know that you've been going so fast and being so focused on everything else that you're losing your identity to your own heartbreak. You're literally hiding so hard from what's hurting you that you literally have no idea. I think that me saying this to you is actually kind of a big surprise. I kind of wasn't really expecting it, and I don't think you were either. I don't think that you were need to do some major healing because you care way too much for others. And it's at this point really that it's not even that you're caring way too much for others. It's that you are not caring enough for yourself. You're not doing it. You need to look within. You need to start healing. That is the message for you. So if this made any kind of sense for you, I would really love to know about it. And remember, if this doesn't sound like you, there are other piles to choose from. So Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group 3. So you chose the Garnet. That is with this pile here. We're looking at our toxic trait. So we have the Princess of Wands, Radha. This is, she's from Hindu mythology. And then the Wheel of Fortune. So I think what I'm about to say is going to really offend you, because at first when I say it, you're going to be like, what the fuck ever? No, I'm not. That's not me. But don't click off immediately, okay? Because I do have a reason for what I'm about to say that will make sense. I hope. All right, look. So your toxic trait is that you wait until the last minute to do things, I think. Like you sort of just like wait around for things to change. It's like instead of taking preventative measures for like, instead of trying to prevent hitting rock bottom, once you start seeing yourself slipping, you just kind of give up. And you really don't start trying until you have no other option. So to sum it up, you're lazy. And I know that you're thinking, no, I'm not. I'm not lazy. I do things all the time. What I mean by this is like, I mean, you've got a fiery energy coming from this Princess of Wands over here, and then the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, and it does show that, you know, you're an energetic person. And I do believe that you're the type of person that isn't like, you know, easily stepped on or anything. I think that you definitely, you know, fight for your beliefs. I think that you know, go to your own tune in life, so to speak. And I do sense a lot of creativity. It's just that, like, I don't think that you really go for it. Like, I think that you have a lot of dreams and fantasies. And I think that you often dream about taking bigger risks to accumulate more wealth. But I feel like you just don't go for it. And let's see the cards for what does this stem from? This is basically like a fear of failure, you know, like I'm not gonna try because I might fail. And that that also, like, that is kind of some Capricorn energy that we got going on there. Some earth energy, some stubbornness. This stone garnet does correlate with Capricorn, if that means anything to you. But let's see what this stems from. Got the Nine of Cups. Like nails sometimes. Okay. And the Star. So this is pretty much what I was expecting, because the Star talks about hope and dreams, and then the Nine of Cups is like living lavishly, you know, like having everything that you need, being very fulfilled. And I think that growing up, or just throughout your lifetime, the people that you were surrounded by taught you that there's no point in trying. You know, like they gave up, so they never really encouraged you to believe that you could do anything more than what you already know. Like you never had somebody show you how to take a chance. You were never shown, like, maybe it's that you grew up in the same place with the same people who did the same things. And I think that you dream about something more, but you're just super held back because there's no, like, you haven't seen with your own eyes how taking a risk can benefit you in the end. You know, you just avoid going the extra mile, because it's like, if you got nothing to lose, then you got nothing to lose, is what I just heard. So you don't really try to accumulate a lot of things, because what if what if you lose it? You know, that would be devastating. So I don't think that anybody ever really showed you to have hope. I think that having hope and dreaming is something that you just kind of have pushed off to the side and try not to do, because you have like you have a vision of something so beautiful, but you just don't believe you could ever get there. So when I say you're lazy, I just mean that that you let fear of failure stop you from doing great things. And you need to acknowledge this fear in order in order to get anywhere than where you are right now, really. Like, if you want to move forward and create a beautiful life for you, you do need to change something. That's true for anybody in any situation, you know, like if you want something to work differently than it's working now, then you got to do it differently. Otherwise, it's labeled insanity, right? So let's see about some advice for you guys. We're using the Handel Tarot today. So what advice do you have for group 4, the unknowingly lazy group? What advice do you have for them? What would benefit group 4 to hear right now? Excuse me. My bad. That's embarrassing. Oh, shit. So is that. You know, I have my own fear of failure, and that right there was that was a fail. But I'm going to simply move on and shuffle these cards and do better next time. Okay. All right. Advice, please. Group 4. Advice. What does group 4 need to hear? Okay. So, the King of Stones and the 6 of Stones. So, if you were at all drawn to pile 3, the Celestite, this did come out in that pile as well for advice. Just if that pile was drawing you in. I'm not trying to force you to spend more time listening to me talk. I'm just letting you know, because I mean, I think that cool little coincidences like that, they mean something to me. If it doesn't mean much to you, that's okay. I'm not telling you what to believe. I just think it's cool. Anyways, so your advice. The Father of Stones, old man. Which I also want to let you know, if you were drawn to the first pile, there's a connection with this card in the advice for the first pile as well. But moving on, sorry, about you right now. The old man, the legend about him, if I remember correctly, it's basically like the legend to begin all legends. I really don't remember much about the story, but I mean, you do see 2 feet here, and hands reaching out in the background. So it's like saying, reach out for your dreams, like give it a shot. Set your feet on a new path and see where it takes you. You know, with 6 of Stones, keyword success, I feel like they're just trying to advise you that not only like failure is not the only option. Failure is not the only possible outcome. There is a possibility for success when you take a chance, and if you spend your entire life in one spot, not taking chances and just doing what you already know, I mean, you're going to be so bored. You don't want to be bored forever. Like, you don't want to get all old and shit and be and be looking back and be like, wow, I'm I'm an old man with no stories to tell. Nice. Like that, you don't want that. You want to experience things and try something out and see where it takes you. I've heard so many people in their older years that have talked to me. I feel like you always hear them say that you would rather look back and know that you tried than regret not giving it a shot at all. So your advice is to give it a shot because you just might be successful. So this just came to me. This might be a message that you need to hear right now. Rada is, what I remember about her is that she was very, very beautiful, very talented. But she kind of, if I remember correctly, has this like, like Rapunzel locked in a tower type story, like she sat around waiting for Krishna to show up. And Krishna, he enjoyed a lot of women, but he saw her as above everyone else. He didn't only associate with her, he associated with others, if you know what I mean. But she meant the world to him. She was the world to him. He adored her, absolutely adored her. And I only mention that because you're the type of person to be adored in that way. Like, you definitely deserve that sort of love and admiration. But don't be the girl sitting around waiting for the guy, or don't be the guy sitting around waiting for the girl who is wasting time entertaining somebody else. So if that made any kind of sense to you, I would love to know about it. Thank you for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.